My name's Dr. Aubrey de Grey. I am the Chief Science Officer of SENS Foundation, which is a US charity, a 501c3, based in California. And our mission is to develop medicines that will combat and postpone the ill health of old age. We work on regenerative medicine for aging, and that means repairing the molecular and cellular damage that accumulates throughout life and eventually kills us. That damage can be repaired by a variety of different techniques that we believe we can develop. Back in 2000 or so, I realized that we could classify all of those types of damage into a very manageable small number of categories. These days I normally describe just 7 categories. And the categories are things like cell loss, which means cells dying and not being automatically replaced by the division and differentiation of other cells. Or it means garbage inside the cells, molecular byproducts of normal metabolism that the cell neither breaks down nor excretes, so they accumulate and eventually the cell doesn't work so well, very much as if you don't take the garbage out of your house for a month. One of the most important things about the particular approach that SENS Foundation is taking to the combating of aging is that it can buy time. By virtue of being a regenerative approach, a rejuvenation approach, where we actually reverse aging in the sense of taking people back to a younger biological age than they were beforehand, we can iteratively improve these therapies as time goes on. And that means that there's a very real chance, in fact I would say a very good chance, that we will be able to postpone the ill health of old age indefinitely. My job extends quite widely. It's not just that I'm developing the scientific technologies, I also have to be thinking all the time about whether these would actually be a good thing for humanity. And so I think a great deal about stuff like whether there will be any unintended consequences for humanity if we suddenly move into a post-aging world. It turns out that the amount of thought that has gone into this on the part of other people is really rather embarrassingly small. It's very common for people, even very educated and knowledgeable and intelligent people, to have really embarrassingly knee-jerk reactions to the idea that we might defeat aging and bring aging under medical control. They will say things like, oh, how would we pay the pensions? Or, you know, wouldn't it be boring? Things like that. It's interesting to look at how I got where I am today. I've had a rather eclectic career. I was originally a computer scientist working in artificial intelligence research, and I switched to biology, well, to the biology of aging around the age of 29-30. However, if we look at how I've gone about what I've done, how I interact with other people in the field and so on, there I guess my British upbringing has played a bit more of a part. It's certainly been interesting that when I'm in the US, whether I'm interacting with scientists or especially when I'm interacting with the general public, with journalists and so on, my British heritage and my British accent and so on tend to give me a bit of a free pass. You know, I tend to get more attention and to be able to make my case more easily than if I were an American, I think. I'm 49 years old now and I'm doing fine. I have the good fortune to have a really slow aging for whatever reason. My biological age, by whatever measure, is really good. But of course, you know, I know that everyone accumulates damage and eventually starts to suffer from it, and I'm certainly not looking forward to that. But ultimately my main motivation, the thing that really gets me out of bed in the morning, is not so much that, but rather the humanitarian benefits. The fact that, you know, even a very small amount of hastening of the defeat of aging that I might be able to achieve would save a ridiculous number of lives and alleviate a ridiculous amount of suffering.